Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about why ducts from the Revit linked model are not responding to the graphic overrides of your project. So as you can see here in this example, I have my sample architecture model, and you can see here I have some link of the HVAC, and let's say that is a link from your consultant, and you linked it inside of your project, and you can see here some ducts which have different colors. Here I have two ducts which I have created inside of my project directly. And let's just now talk about this graphic override. So if I go to my visibility in graphics, into my ducts, let's say that, okay, I do not want these colors. I want all of my ducts to be black. So I will just go and override the graphics of the ducts to be black. Hit apply. Okay, and nothing changed. Okay, so maybe something is wrong if I change this to be, let's say, yellow to see what happens. Hit apply. And you can see only this one duct actually responded to my graphic overrides from the visibility graphics from model categories. All of the others did not do anything. And this is because the graphic overrides of ducts and also pipes is being driven also by the settings inside of the systems. As you can see here, these duct systems, which can be found under families, duct systems, duct system. Here you can have different systems specified. For this project it is exhaust air, return air, and supply air. And each of these can have a graphic override, which is set in the type properties. If I right click on the supply air, go with the type properties, you can see here the graphic overrides section. And if I go inside, you can see that now for this supply air duct system, I have set my graphic override color to be red. So that's why this duct is actually red, because it has system type set to supply air, which is in here, and that has graphic overrides from the type properties of the supply air set to red. This one is a return air. The return air in my type properties doesn't have any graphic override, so that's why it is responding to my changes inside of the visibility graphics in my category graphic overrides. So, okay, what can we do about this? In my project, I can just go and change this back to be without a graphic override. So I'll clear this, okay, and my ducts are nice. But as you can see, it doesn't affect the ducts from the linked model. Even though if I go inside of this duct, you can see the system type is supply air, which is the same as here. But the ducts and also pipes from linked Revit models are not using the settings from your host model, even though in my visibility and graphics in Revit links here on the HVAC Revit file, I have set my display settings to be by host view. In this instance, it doesn't care. So if I will now go to my Revit link directly, you can see here that my ducts are blue. And this is because inside of this HVAC Revit file, the supply air, type properties, graphic overrides is set to blue. Return air, you can see the same, is set to magenta, and so on and so forth. So if this file was sent to you by the consultant and they are not working on it anymore, and you are just like linking it to your file for the reference or for the graphics, you can basically just go and change this and clear this override. So if I will do this, you can see this back. And now if I would save and reload in my host project, it would change. I'm not going to do this, but this is one way how you can do this. If you cannot do this, I will go back to my main model, to my architectural model. You need to do this with a filter. So if I go into my visibility and graphic overrides and to my filters, you can see here I have created the filter for ducts. if I will go into this filter, you can see that it works for all of the duct categories. And here I have my system type set to equal supply air. And if I will now enable this filter, you can see that I have set my lines to be overridden to be black. So let's just enable this, hit apply. And you can see now the ducts from the linked file, which have system type set to supply air, are now overridden to be black. These things, air terminals, are not overridden because I did not include them inside of my filter. So I will need to go here and add air terminals as well. Hit OK, hit OK. And now you can see it looks good. So I will need to do the same for another system types, and this way you can override it inside of your Revit file. Fortunately, they have added this because previously it was not possible to actually override it with filters. Now we can do this. So I advise you to use filters to override it because it's easier than going inside of the project file itself. Because if they send you another project file, which is like newer one, you will need to do this again and again and again. This way you can just do it once and reload it. So this is how you can set these overrides, and the same applies for the pipes. If I go to piping systems, you can see all of the piping systems, and if I go with the right click, type properties, you can have the same graphic overrides in here. So if the same goes with the pipes for your colors, you can do the same things as for the ducts. So the same applies for the pipes. So this is all, and I hope it will help you with your Revit projects.